Welcome back, everybody. Now today I'm taking a look at 4 phone accessories to see if they really work. That's today's video. So today's video is kind of a mixed bag. Some were requested, one was advertised on Instagram, a couple of them I found on Amazon. So let's get started with the first one, the iFlex. Let's take a look at the iFlex. Originally it was just called the Flex, they added the I later, but let's check it out. These are also available at Walmart and Amazon. I believe I saw on Amazon for about $8.90. We've got a whole bunch of different types here. So this is basically a cell phone or tablet stand for home, work, travel. It's heat resistant, can even be used as a trivet. They have different sizes, and this can be bent to a lot of different configurations. I'm gonna get into it more a little later, but you can do things like that for your phone, or 2 phones, I don't know. You can also curve one side and hook it somewhere, like on the back of a headrest, put your device there. There's a lot of different uses for it. You know, I was out running errands earlier, and I thought I was gonna do my first iFlex test while I was out and about, but I left the iFlex at home, so I'm in my garage here. But let's just pretend like I'm not in my garage, and a passenger sitting in the back seat of the car on the road trip, and let's see how we do with the iFlex as a phone holder in the back seat of the car. Now, I would say the most common use for the iFlex from people using it and from the promotional videos would be in a hook format, holding up a phone. Sometimes it's over a headrest. Some people might use it on an exercise machine, but right now I'm going to put it on the back of this seat and see how it actually holds my phone. All right, that seems pretty sturdy. Let's see, is that gonna hold? That seems like it's much sturdier than I anticipated it being. That's very solid. I'm gonna have to take this out in the car and drive around and see how it holds up. Another good thing about this test is that I can't cheat because I can't hold it in place. If it falls, it falls. There's no stopping it. There's no preventing it. If it falls, I can't stop it. Well, I'm in the front seat. I can't even see it, but I haven't heard it fall down yet, so that's a good sign. Another use they show for it is in the cabinet. I think what they were showing is to have a hook like this, and a hook on the bottom. Just kind of close the door on it, and then you can put your phone right there while you're using a recipe. I guess that'll work. You could put it here by your stove if you're looking at a recipe while you're cooking. After perusing their website, I was looking at some other ways that they suggest using it. Let's try a few of them. One of them is kind of like this. I guess you put your phone in there like that to keep it out of the heat. Maybe you can rest your glasses on top, I guess. All right, that's one. They kind of did one like this, where they had 2 phones. I guess if you're sitting across from each other, you can each use one. I guess that might work. How about this one? I guess you could. It's kind of stretching a little bit because you have to kind of squeeze it together. I think that's a little bit of a stretch. Maybe something like the iFlex Mini would be better. Let's see. Oh, maybe. I don't feel like I have to squeeze it as hard. It kind of still works. Yeah, it works. I guess if you're going to get multiple iFlexes and you have a Mini, that could be a use for it, I guess. It does seem to not get completely flat after a while. You can get it kind of flat-ish. But it is sturdy. It's very sturdy. The last test I want to try on this is a heat test with a pan. See how it works as a trivet, and then wrap it up. All right, iFlex is supposed to be heat resistant. I've got this hex-clad pan here, which is currently about over 400 degrees. The iFlex is 78 degrees. Let's see. Just gonna put it right on there for a little bit and see what happens. I'll come back in a couple minutes and see what happens. All right, here we go. Oh, it kind of stuck to it a little bit. Well, that's hot. It's very hot. But no worse for wear. It didn't even change shape. I thought maybe it would flatten it out. It didn't flatten it. I guess that's good. I do see how people would like something like this. There's quite a few uses for it. Next up, these have been requested quite a bit. These are magnetic phone charging cables. Let's check it out. By request, these are magnetic charging cables. I'll just pull one of these out here. There seem to be a lot of brands selling these. I have the JSTH brand. The price varies anywhere from about 14 to 20 bucks for a multi-pack of them. As you can see, it comes with 3 different tips. You have the USB, USB-C, and iPhone. These have been advertised online a lot. I've been requested these quite a bit. They supposedly allow you to leave this connector in your phone, and it's much easier to connect your cable to your phone. So we'll see how that goes. Looks like this particular pack has multiple lengths. This is a short one, this is longer. I can get one more in here. I'll have to, there's not much labeled here. I might have to go back and look at the listing on Amazon and see what I actually bought. I know I bought a multi-pack, I just didn't remember all the exact sizes of it. All right, I've had some requests for these. Now it comes with 3 different tips, and they're definitely magnetic. These would be easy to lose. I fear that would be easy to lose, but let me see here. So I think this just goes into your device. So get my iPhone XS Max. I just stick in there like that. And then we attach the magnetic cable. That's really all there is to it. It seems pretty strong, it's holding it up. There is something oddly satisfying about that. The cable itself, it feels average quality. It looks like it's already tangled. It came tangled. But like with these tips, what am I gonna do about these tips? And I guess the other problem is, like, say I want to listen to some headphones that are not Bluetooth, I'm gonna have to take this out. Which, okay, it's not too hard. All right, so let me plug this in and make sure it actually works as a charging cable. I had to move onto the floor because I couldn't reach from the table. All right, it is charging. So they definitely work. Oh, and it's very attractive. It lights up a very attractive blue color. Let me turn the lights off and see how that looks in the dark. Oh, very nice. Well, even when it's not plugged in, the phone is still lit. I guess it doesn't tell you when it's charging, it just tells you when it's hooked up to power. All right, seems pretty straightforward. I'm just gonna keep using it and see if I can come up with any additional pros and cons. There's not much to it. It just magnetically attaches to your phone. We'll see if this becomes a pro or a con being permanently input into your phone. I don't know, we'll see. All right, so after using these cables for about a week now, I do have one significant observation. If you use the port on your phone for anything but charging, this may not be for you, because you're gonna be taking these little connectors in and out, and they are easy to lose. I still listen to old school wired headphones sometimes on my iPhone. That means I have to take that connector out, put it somewhere, easy to lose. If you only use the port for charging, it's actually very handy, quite useful. I think it might be something to consider. This is not 70s wall paneling. This is actually a phone screen magnifier. Let's take a look. Right, this is a mobile phone screen magnifier by this brand, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce. The way it works is you open the cover, you fold it backwards, pull out the lens, adjust your angle. I'm not sure what that step means. Mobile phone silicone pad base. And then you experience different video effects. This is a 12-inch screen magnifier. It's a very attractive looking piece. So I think the way it works is that you roll this up and there's a magnet that holds it in place. Or not. But you basically roll it in place, put your phone there, and then it magnifies it. Supposedly doubles your screen size. Obviously no batteries required because it's not electronic. I paid 22 bucks on this for Amazon. There's a lot of these like this. There aren't many that are very highly rated. This was about the highest rated one I could find. People on Amazon seem to either love this or hate it. Kind of reminds me of the Magnivision I did several years ago. This I was not a big fan of. A much smaller screen though. So I might have to compare these two as well. So in its folded position, it actually looks kind of nice, but does it really work? It's a pretty low-tech device. All you have to do is just roll this out, lift the screen, and there's a little piece of fake wood right there that goes into this notch. And this also prevents it from sliding. You cannot adjust the angle. There's one angle and that's it. And then you just rest your phone right there. Now the problem is you got to get just the right angle to actually get the full benefit. If I sit pretty far back, it actually looks kind of large, but I also have a lot of these, there's a lot of streaks in there. Look at that. It kind of has a magnifying glass look to it, and the edges, it seems like the edges are a little bit out of focus compared to the center. Let me compare it to the Magnivision now. Magnivision much smaller. The Magnivision does have a little bit of adjustment. It's also a much smaller screen. Here's the Magnivision. That's how much you gain. Here's the Amazon screen magnifier. I feel like the Amazon one is a little bit better. They both have streaks. You can actually see out in my backyard in both of these. So they're both pretty streaky. With the Amazon, you got to sit right in front of it to get the full benefit. Same with the Magnivision. Even though you can adjust it, you still have to kind of sit at the same angle. I can see how some people would like this. It's better than a magnifying glass holding your hand. Let me go into a darker area and see if these streaks are minimized, because I'm not liking that too much. All right, here we go, a darker room. The Amazon is bigger. I'm still seeing streaks on both of them though. I mean, it's not too distracting. And I do think that the screen, it looks larger. Depending on how far back you get, when you get pretty far back, it actually doesn't look too bad. I'm about an arm's length away right now, and it does fill the screen pretty well. Even the Magnivision is better from this distance, I think. You still have the streaks, and the edges of the screen seem like they're a little bit out of focus, but I don't know. I think that there are people who probably would like something like this. I'm not sure I'm one of them, but I think that there are people that might like this. The Amazon version is a little bit further away from the glass than the Magnivision, so maybe that helps it actually fill the screen a little better. The screen is much larger. But other than the screen size, I think that they both seem to be about the same quality of glass, the same quality of magnification. I wouldn't expect it to last a long time, but it does look pretty good. Magnivision folds up nicely. Amazon folds up nicely. You can see how much bigger the Amazon is than the Magnivision. It seems to have almost like a vinyl LP kind of curvature to it, like almost has grooves in it. That might help in the magnification, but it doesn't help in the reduction of streaks. It's very streaky. Let's try it out as if I'm just lounging on the couch watching some videos here. Easy to set up, that's a good thing. You know, I have to admit that from this angle, the phone looks huge. But the only other problem is I see every light source in the area is all reflected on here. It's a bit distracting. I mean, if you can sit far enough back, the phone does look very large. Look at all these light streaks on there though. It can be distracting, but look how big that is. I don't know, I'm kind of torn. I like the magnification. I don't like the streakiness on the glass. I don't know. Taking a look from the phone's perspective, that's kind of weird looking, isn't it? Very strange. And finally, one I saw advertising a lot on Instagram, this is the Pocket Tripod. This is the Pocket Tripod Pro. This has been advertising online as well. I paid $35 from this direct from the website. I guess there's a lot of knockoffs floating around, so I have to be careful about that. I haven't even opened it up yet. Get that out of there. It does come with this fit card, which helps you measure out your device, but I'm looking for the actual unit itself. Important, never bend the two halves. Good to know. They have multiple colors available. This is the one that I chose. I thought it looked kind of nice. They have adapters that can basically fit almost any phone. In fact, if you don't get the adapter that fits your phone, they will send you one for free, at least as of this writing. It has carbon fiber legs, an angle indicator, soft contact grip, fluid tilt adjustment, thickness of 2 credit cards. It's pretty thin. It has interchangeable adapters right here, 180 degrees of tilt, and large devices can go up to 45 degrees. Can be used with or without a phone case. It can be folded in a variety of different ways to hold your phone with or without a case. With a case. Without a case. To use it, all you do is rotate among the center axis. I also pulled out the desk call, which I actually have been using lately, which is a desk phone holder, which is not quite the same thing, but I wanted to kind of do a comparison. I've also got my red shield, which we'll compare to as well. You're supposed to measure your phone using this, which is included. You're supposed to look at these little measurements in here, which correspond to which adapter you're supposed to use. See my iPhone 7 Plus, how it fits. Too big, too big, too big, too big. We're getting closer, closer. Well, that feels pretty good, and that's too tight. So I'm gonna be, on this one, 7.5, which is not included in this package. So if I want to 6 to a 7.5, I have to get an adapter, which I'm not gonna do. All right, so let's try take 2 here. Let's try this 10S Max here with a case on it. Too big, pretty close. That feels perfect right there. That would be a 9.5. Let me pull this out of here. So replacing these is pretty easy. All you have to do is grab that, rotate it out. Comes out pretty easily. There's a notch right there these go into. wouldn't say it's smooth as silk, but after doing it a couple times, it does seem to get easier. As far as rotating it then, you can put it this way to kind of leave it in place. It's not going to go back anymore. Or you can turn it this way and tilt it back. They say you can go 180 degrees. Let's see. Oh, it's not going to stay like that. 45, yeah, maybe. Up to about 90. All right, let me try filming myself here, if I can get the right angle. Let me try the desk call here with the other phone. See, the problem I have with the desk call is it really didn't tilt forward enough. This one, the pocket tripod, you can tilt it a little bit more forward, and in fact, you can get have a pretty good selection of angles with it between using it this way and using it that way, I think. Yeah, I'm feeling it. I use desk call sitting at a desk so the angle's a little better. So you get out of your desk call. All right, so let me try the red shield. You may remember the red shield from a much earlier video. This one I actually keep in my wallet. I usually use this like when I'm traveling on a plane, which I really haven't done much lately. But I can just stick it right here. I don't want to use it like this as much. It's not nearly as stable. Look, nope, not going to work. I use the red shield more for typing into my phone on an airplane or something. Not as much in the portrait mode. So I think that the red shield actually is not doing so well in that configuration either. So let's bring the star of the show up here now. Try a little bit more of the angles here. I don't know why you'd want to film at this angle, but you could if you wanted to. So there is another way you can use this. What you do is you turn it to this configuration, pull them apart. Now you have two halves you can actually place further apart, so you have a more stable base for your phone. This is really good for an extreme angle like that, because when it's together, it's just not stable enough. Here, it's pretty stable. You can pretty much lay it flat. Putting it back together, just the reverse. Pretty interesting. So in the end, I've kind of grown to enjoy the pocket tripod, not just as a tripod, but just almost as a fidget device. I find myself sometimes just kind of enjoying the oddly satisfying different combinations that you get from that. I think this is worthy of putting in my wallet. I'm going to take the red shield out for a while and see if I actually like this one better. I think I might. The only thing I'm not sure I like about it is the price. The red shield, I think I paid $8 for. This is $35. I'm not sure if it's worth the difference. I'm going to leave it in my wallet and I'll give you an update if anything changes. So there you have it. I got some pretty good ones in this batch. I'm not sure I'm going to keep using the screen magnifier, although I do think that some people have some use for it. But overall, it's a pretty fun batch. I hope you enjoy watching it, and I'll see you next time.